Hello and welcome back to Holt, Hanley weather. There's a lot going on in the weather forecast today, so let's just dive right in. In my opinion, the biggest story going on right now is this blast of cold Arctic air that is moving through the Dakotas and Minnesota right now. It's bringing some temperatures as low as negative 22 degrees, but the wind chills are making it feel more like negative 40 degrees. We'll take a look at the winds associated with this cold blast in a minute. But as you can see, this cold Arctic air, that's what those purple temperatures represent. That's moving into the Midwest, and then that's going to drop farther south and farther east, eventually working its way into the Northeast. So you guys are getting some cold temperatures moving into Friday night and Saturday morning. And those hang out until about Saturday at 1 o'clock and then finally move back off. Makes me happy I live in California though. Don't have to deal with negative 20-degree temperatures. So let's look at what the precip associated with Winter Storm Mabel is doing right now, bringing some snow to southern parts of Wisconsin. Some areas of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio are still getting some of that snow. As you see, the low is moving off of Ohio right on the eastern portions of the state. Remember how the circulation goes around a low? It's counterclockwise. So on the right side of that low, it's bringing up warm air. So your precip's going to be more like rain in parts of southern Ohio. Whereas on the left side of that low, it's bringing that cold air down. So precip is more like snow in parts of Michigan, Wisconsin, northern Illinois. And that's also what's bringing down that cold Arctic air. It's as this low moves off, the cold air fills in behind it. So let's see when you guys are in the clear. Actually, some heavy snowfall rates at about Thursday, 7 a.m. in the morning for eastern Indiana and western Ohio. And then rain in the southern portions of Ohio. Well, that's pretty much gone, and a high pressure moves in by about late Thursday night, Friday morning. And then you guys are good with precip for a few days after that, probably throughout your entire weekend, except for Michigan that could be seeing a little blast of snow on Saturday night. So let's take a look at the totals from Winter Storm Mabel for the Midwest. Honestly, this storm did not disappoint, and I would say the forecast models, at least the ECMWF, which is the model I always use, did an awesome job predicting this storm. If you look back, I think as far back as maybe 3 days ago, I've been doing forecast videos every day, so about 3 forecast videos ago, their prediction basically looked like this. They were saying 6 to 8 inches in parts of central Indiana, and then maybe 4 to 6 inches throughout that strip going through the central parts of Illinois all the way to Ohio. And then around that, maybe 1 to 2 inches moving up into Wisconsin, southern Michigan. And this is what's actually accumulated. Basically exactly what the forecast models were saying. So great job, scientists. You crushed it on this one. Let's check out the winds associated with this Arctic blast of cold air, because that's really the big story. I saw one video of Minnesota. I don't have the video, but you should probably go look it up after you watch this video to completion, of a blizzard in Minnesota. Again, they didn't get all that much snow with this one, maybe like max 5 inches, but there's so much wind associated with it that the snow that does fall, it's kicking it up and moving it around. There was blizzard conditions in Minnesota, and visibility was below half a mile. And this one video just looks crazy. It looks like another planet almost. So again, the big story is the wind chill. You see Walker, negative 18 degrees. I think I said Grand Rapids was negative 20 degrees. But with the wind chill, those are both feeling like negative 40 degrees. Unbelievable. And that cold air is moving all the way into Iowa. Des Moines? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I probably should know how to pronounce that. You're below zero. So very cold temperatures. That's going to continue to move down into Illinois, Indiana, and then eventually work its way up into the Northeast. But again, the big story is those damaging winds. And a big thing about that wind chill, it can lead to frostbite in as little as 10 minutes. So you got to watch out for that. And you see this trough move through. Some places, their temperature is dropping 10 degrees per hour. So you might go out in the morning thinking you got a big enough coat on, and then 1 hour later it's 10 degrees colder. So I would say if you're still getting ready for the day, pack an extra coat. Let's take a look as this trough moves through the Midwest, bringing those cold temperatures all the way down to Oklahoma. And then that's going to move through. You see the Northeast gets that purple blob of air, and then another trough is going to fill in behind it. You see it's right over Montana right now. Or this isn't right now, this is Friday night. But for the most part, moving through the weekend, the flow gets a lot more zonal. If you don't know what zonal means, it basically means more west to east. Whereas when you see like a giant trough, that's meridional. It's going from north to south. But this is looking pretty good. And I just want to go back one more time and talk about this cold blast of Arctic air. Think about the winds going around this trough. On the right side of it, they're bringing warm air up. That's why we get these warm temperatures all through the southeast, basically up into Pennsylvania. Whereas on the west side of the trough, those wind barbs, I don't know if you could see them, but they're pulling that cold air down. So that's really the mechanism driving this blast of cold Arctic air. This big trough and Winter Storm Mabel just working together to just bring those that cold air down from the north. So let's take a look at the Northeast. Winter Storm Mabel, I would say, has overperformed for you guys. At the beginning of the week, it was saying that the low was going to be up in Canada and maybe northern Maine was going to get an inch, 2 inches. Well, as you can see, the low is not in Canada, it's off of southwest Pennsylvania. So what that's going to do is bring some of that cold air down into the Northeast, like we've been seeing and talking about. And New York, you're getting some pretty good snowfall rates. This is right now. So New York, you're looking at maybe 0.2 inches per hour of snowfall. Massachusetts, southern Vermont, New Hampshire, you guys are all getting some of the snow. And then as that low moves into Pennsylvania, the snow is going to move north. Basically all of Vermont and New Hampshire getting snow by about 7 a.m. this morning. What's going to happen by this afternoon? Some spots still with some isolated snowfall, some heavier rates on western Massachusetts. That's exciting. Boston, you're in rain again. And then by tonight, this is pretty much gone. Some isolated places where there's still snowfall, but for the most part, that's gone. And then by Friday afternoon, you guys don't have any more precip. Let's just click through real fast. You get a high that moves through, another little system, that was that little trough. Not much for your guys' weekend. I'll do another weekend forecast tomorrow. But the big story is going to be Mabel moving through the Northeast. Let's see what it's going to bring you guys. Overperforming from what the models were saying. So if you're a snow lover in the Northeast, this is pretty good news. You can see right on that New York, Pennsylvania border, you guys are getting maybe 6 to 8 inches of snow, maybe into the double digits. If you're a snow lover, you can only hope. Southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, the models a few runs ago weren't saying you were going to get 6 to 8 inches, and look at that. You guys are getting some pretty good accumulations. Maine, you're kind of missing out on this one. Southern portions of Maine getting maybe 2 to 4, but northern portions might not be getting any. That's something interesting to look at. For the most part, it might not be the highest numbers. It's not double digits all over the Northeast, but it's more than was expected. So we'll take what we can get. The other big story is moving into the Southeast. I've been continually updating you guys with the floods, tornadoes down there, and the heavy rain has basically lasted from Monday up till Friday in areas that were already flooded. So this has been a big story. Alabama had some heavy rains yesterday. There's some major flooding, and as you can see, it's not letting up. Heavy rainfall rates from Alabama up through Georgia, 0.5 inches per hour of rain in some places. The good news is it's not going to last all that long. By Thursday afternoon, that band is going to move into Georgia and up into South Carolina. And then, it's gone by basically Friday morning, late Thursday night. That is great news because you guys have just been getting drenched with rain for like a week straight. Almost 2 weeks straight because of Winter Storm Cade. And you guys are finally going to get a little break. So hopefully some of those rivers can get back to normal levels and people can start to recover. One more big story, the Northwest is going to see a pretty awesome snowstorm over this next weekend. You see right now, isolated snowfall in parts of southern Montana, Wyoming. You'd say, oh, it's boring, nothing's happening. Well, watch just what happens as we click through Wednesday. That snow starts to move into Washington, and then some heavy rainfall rates in Idaho, central Washington, you're still getting it. And then, where does the big one come in? Right here. This is Saturday night, Sunday morning. This big snowstorm is going to move in. Again, on the coast, you're getting heavy rainfall because you're closer to the water, so that the water's freezing up there, but it still moderates your temperature. But again, lots of moisture coming in from the Pacific. That's going to drop tons of snowfall, especially over the Cascades, moving through central Washington, through central Oregon. And then you can see, boom, right there. That's a pretty awesome map. Heavy snowfall rates basically throughout the entire Northwest, especially Idaho, Northeast Oregon. You guys are getting some great snowfall rates as that low moves through Montana. Let's look at the totals for this one. Wow, that's some of the best totals I've seen for snowfall anywhere in about the last 2 weeks. Parts of the Cascades, you're getting a foot to maybe 2 feet of snow, maybe even 3 to 4 in the highest elevation places. Again, I pointed out Northeast Oregon or Southeast Washington. There's a nice little bullseye of snow, maybe a foot, double digits of snow, and then Idaho, you're getting some good rates with this one too. So I'll keep you guys updated. This one is really hitting Saturday, Sunday, so I'll make another video updating you on what this storm's gonna do. And if you have any advice on how I can make these forecast videos better, I'm always open to constructive criticism. If you want to see more forecast videos like this, remember to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.